Hey guys, Reyfar here, and today I'm gonna get off my tail and talk about Heat 6, which I've been seeing on for probably like a week and a half now. Last week I had a mate over, so I was entertaining him, so that's why I didn't record, even though I've read most of it really. So Heat 6 came out in 2009, so getting more to the modern present day. And it's a pretty good one, just in general, but I don't know, I feel like because I've sat on it, I've just kind of lost its, I guess, I wouldn't say charm, but like I kind of just lost that, oh my god, I want to talk about it now. It's more like, yeah, I better talk about it before I forget about it, or something like that. So the first story is Prehistoric by Tim, who is still kind of around. The FA seems a little bit dead, like nothing's really updated since a year ago. But I do like this story. It's pretty kind of, a typical wolf dude in a wolf tribe, and then and what's different about it is like he has an accident and is brought back to good health by a horse man from a horse tribe, and he falls in love with him, or no, not really falling. I don't know. It's a bit wishy-washy. They develop a relationship, and aside from the general premise, which doesn't really entertain me whenever I read it, I do like a lot of the things that the author did with the piece, how they fleshed out their world without it being like hitting you over the head with it. I quite liked it. Brilliant artwork by Fox Feather. I quite like its style, and I don't know. There's not really much I can say about it. Not too much happened. Yeah, it's a cool story, but not entirely memorable. Which I guess is a bit sad to say. Actually, one thing I do like is these cute little illustrations of a wolf and a horse breaking, as paragraph breaks or scene breaks or whatever you want to call them. I like the kind of tribal hieroglyphic stuff and all that. The next one is a pretty cool poem, Sated by Frostwolf, and illustrated by Blotch. And I like this poem a lot. I love the story that it tells. It's just a whole lot of fun. I do like it. So. Next we've got At a Glance by Reichin, which is illustrated by the lovely Heather Bruton, which I did not forget this time around. I do like this story. It's a whole lot of fun. Reichin himself was kind of eager to hear me talk about it. I guess the one thing that I didn't like about it is the text and whatever was a very kind of flowery language, and I guess you can say it struck a kind of elegance to fit the scene and the theme of it, but I felt like a lot of the motion of the characters in the piece was lost, because there's a few times where it's I'm reading the scene as it's being described, and I didn't realize that the two characters were now lying on the ground. A lot of stuff just got lost there. I think in what do you call it? But not lost, was sacrificed, I guess you could say. But I do like it. It's a pretty cool twist where the dude is, they're both posing as the other genders. I wouldn't say they're cross-dressers or anything, but they're posing as the other genders for their X reason. And I quite like the ad that inspired it. That was pretty cool. Oh yeah, shit. So that's it. So the cat's name was Smoke, and the mink, I don't think she had a name. She might just be called the Lady. Yeah, she's just called the Lady. But I quite like this double illustration with the dip yuck or something like that. They're going on here where they're both revealing to each other their secret. One thing I will say about it is, like, I guess in terms of the twist at the end, I get why it wasn't, I guess, telegraphed, but I think with stuff like that, in general, it's better, like, you know, if you have, like, little things, like, dotted in early, like, not obvious things, but subtle things, where it's like, oh yeah, that like, that line there, or that look he gave that Finn, or the action he took, that now that I know this, it makes sense. Well, not that it doesn't make sense, it stands out more, because, like, yeah. But, I mean, mind you, that's probably because I've just been reading lots of, like, Ian Fleming lately, where there's a lot of that. We've got the next, next is the first ad, Pantygrams. It's a pretty cool ad. Which is like, yeah, so it's like a telegram, but the models wear panties, and you have to take them off them to get the clothing that you've purchased, or something like that. It's pretty fun. That was, I'm not sure who that's illustrated by, but I'll go through it at the back when I go through the credits. Next up, we've got Double Reward by Tani Darul, which is just, you know, it's a general cool comic. I always like Tani Darul's comics in Heat. Like, they have like a certain flair to them, and I guess she's really good with, like, the emotions and characters she conveys with facial expressions and muzzles and all that. I do like that. Next up is the story Talk With Your Mouth Full by Kyle Gold, illustrated by Chibi Marrow. That's it. This is very, I guess, a simple and tight and closed piece. It's just the setting, like, it's entirely following Vandy, who's giving a blowjob to this bear who's not disinterested, but not, I guess, conveying anything or whatever. Like, it's a very kind of boring blowjob. He's trying to work out, like, if he's doing anything, like, how to get him off, because he's a bit tired. And then, like, he's recollecting a bit, and he goes back to thinking about the last guy he was with, and then he starts texting him while he's giving the bear the blowjob, and yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like this is a very kind of hard one to convey why I like it, other than, like, it's really cool, it's really tight, and I like the that's it, I really like the sense of character that Kyle puts through with Vandy. Like, you can really because is it first person? No, it's third person, but yeah, no, you can convey a lot about Vandy and his character with I guess the tight descriptors from his point of view. Like, well, there's this line, he was like, but good gracious, if you didn't get some kind of validation soon, blowjob etiquette be damned. He was going to ask if the guy had fallen asleep. And, oh yeah, I really like this one. Because unless Floyd turned out to be some kind of freaky mutant who became interesting or rich after orgasm, Vandy wasn't going to be stick around even for the rest of his night. Yeah, and there's this one. I was like, it just pissed Vandy off. Good Husky? What the hell? He had a name. Like he was some kind of fucking pet or something. He specifically said he wasn't looking for that. At least he meant to say it specifically. Yeah, there's like lots of lines where, like, you really get a strong sense like, Vandy, he's a bit of a dick, a bit of a selfish loser. I really like that about him. That's why it's a whole lot of fun to go through. You know, it's something that, you know, I hope to do with my own writing, because I like when people convey that shit. Well, I mean, you know, you can tell he's a bit of a dick that, you know, he's texting his last boyfriend while he's giving a blowjob and trying to kind of be sneaky about it as well or something. You know, he's not giving him the attention, even though, you know, he did pains to say that he was giving the attention, but, you know, it's not really. Um, the next ad, the next ad is like a condom ad, petting the senses. There's oh no, not condom, it's lubricant. XY brand addictive passion. It's pretty cool. And that is illustrated by. I'm not sure again. I'll check the credits. Next up we've got. Oh, I really like the style the artists have done with this comic. Who is Yuki? It's I guess you can say it's a very kind of typical comic story. This guy has the crust for this dude, and then he ends up working or whatever, and he's super good, but he's clumsy, and then and then he saves him from being beat up, and then they fuck, and then they're happily ever after. But I do really like the art style. It's very, it's something that at this point, going through all the hits, you haven't seen a very kind of, I guess you could say, anime inspired art style. I'm pretty sure there's a more proper term for it, but I do like a lot of the detail, like in the background, that shot there with the buildings and just the shading in general. I also do like the huge size difference between the fox and the, I assume, lion character. Oh yeah, Brendan's the fox and Neil's the I assumedly lion character. Yeah, I do like it. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, one other thing that I do love is that Brendan the fox has like a canine dick, whereas the assumedly lion character, who I can tell it's not a lion because he doesn't have a lion tail, has like a more human dick. So you kind of get that going on there. Next up we've got Son of the Spouse, illustrated, and this one's written by Fluke. I actually looked that up when I was reading it, because I actually really liked it. This is one where I'm like, I read it, I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. But I read it out loud to myself. I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually really cool. I like this poem. Yeah, it's like it's a poem about a spouse and like the ups and downs of that relationship and the time they spend together. Okay, so not to crap on the next one. Learning to Live. It was written by Kaz and illustrated by Corgi. I do like Corgi's artworks, but like that totally looks like a corgi, but they're like wolves. Like I know first off I was like, oh no, got a bit confused there. And this was actually, I had a pretty fun experience reading this one, because I was reading it and then I was messaging Zia and I'm like, I swear to God, like if this character doesn't turn out to be a ghost, this story's gonna suck. And I fucking called it. Like, it wasn't really a ghost, but it was like a mental manifestation or something like that. Something, I guess, more paranormal going on than just being crazy. But yeah, because like, without having the ghost kind of plot to it, it would have been a very dull story. Like there's real no kind of hook there, and it was really nice to see that because you don't see it all the time. I fucking loved it. It was great. Well, I say that, and then fucking Kyle Gold has written the Dangerous Spirits series, and there's probably a bunch of stuff out there that I just don't know. And yeah, like when that kind of twist came out, like sorry, spoilers. Like I really started to really grow and like the main character, whose name is it Jason? Justin, that's it, Justin. Yeah, I really liked him, like because that from changing that perspective of him, it really brought out a deeper sense in his character. Than I guess this really kind of flat, chubby wolf dude that plays video games and is forced to go out into the woods, and then it turns bad without that twist. Well, bad as in dull. And yeah, like I really like this one. Like it's definitely one that I'm definitely gonna remember for like a while now because it was such a striking twist to it. Um, it ends a little bit sad but optimistic too, like which is good. Uh, yeah, like there's it brings the story back down to reality towards the end, which is really nice because it could have just gone off the rails or something like that. Um, I don't know. Talking about the text, I don't know if there's anything I can really say. Like, there's nothing really jumpy out about it. Yeah, no, I just like it. Oh, one thing I will say is that because what going back and checking out these authors, and considering this is 8 years ago now, um, it's like where are they now? And then I looked up Kaz on for Affinity, and like he had a crazy fucking journey. So like he still writes, but not as much. And then he went in for like a good year. He got into speed running a game called Dragon View, and then from doing the tool assisted speed run, he had to learn how to do some programming, and then after that, he's been working on developing a game. And fuck, there's something else there that I've just forgotten, but it's like super cool, like to check out this stuff and then go watch his speed run and whatever, and yeah, like it's really like cool to see. Um, but and then oh fuck, what was it, fragments or because yeah, I asked him like what's he published in, and he listed off a title, and it's like yet another title where it's like every time I ask someone like, oh yeah, what are you published in, and this title keeps popping up. I think it's fragments. It's something by Weasel Press. I remember that much, but right now I've kind of forgotten. Is it Weasel Press or Red Ferret Press? One or two. Which I totally want to get at some point. Next up is a really kind of cute comic, Kisses by Angie K, featuring the characters by Liz Sanborn and Angie K. Yeah, I quite like it. They're two bird ladies. I'm pretty sure they're both ladies. Did I just misremember? No, they're both ladies. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a pretty cute lesbian comic. I do really like the style. Like, I want to check if they've done more comics because I quite like it. I guess I wouldn't say the simplicity of it, but the richness of it. Yeah, and then the last title in it is Dick and Jane by Foosball, who probably everyone knows at this point. Illustrated by Autumn Sunrise. So it's set in the world with that he writes in with all the cloned animal people. Well, not the cloned. Well, they are clones, but they're the genetic creation animal people that were created to serve a specific purpose. Or job or role or whatever, and then they were emancipated, but this is like I don't know where the timeline fits in, or but which ones he when and all that. Like, it's something I need to spend a good couple months just engrossing myself into, because it is super cool. But then like I always need to focus on this one, and focus on his work set in that world. And yet again, I still haven't read Dangerous Jade wherever it is in my room. Yeah, no, I really like Dick and Jane. I feel like I ruined my reading experience by being drunk on a plane trying to read it, because anyone that reads Foosball, like there's a level of subtext going on with his work that you need to focus on, even though later on the story it was explained a bit, but there's a richness in going back or focusing and like, oh yeah, I see what he's doing here, like the whole scene with Jane finding the pheromones, and because it's a low light condition and so she has to smell all this stuff, and it's pretty cool, like I guess feeling those feelings of going through the reading of those senses that aren't just classical, like I saw that he had this, it's like I picked up this and it felt like this and I smelt it and it was and she has, like, Jane as a character has a really kind of strong focus on scent of things, which is super cool. And yeah, no, I do like Dick and Jane. It's a nice window into the series that he does as an author. Too much sure what I can say about it, because I think a lot of what I want to say about is stuff that I don't know about his setting yet. I like a lot of the interactions between her and her sisters, and how some of them know about this, the tragic facade that happened to Jane, and what happened to her, and some of them deal with it, some of them don't, and I like how she has this whole kind of crisis of like, what's real love and what's fake love, and all that. We're having a really kind of warped sense of what love is, and sex, and I guess relationships in general, because of how what she was created to be, and it's all super cool, and there's a lot of like depth there, and that's why I love it. But it's just gone right over my head. Yeah, and that's the last thing. Animal magnetism is back again. And I think that one's kind of themes more towards like poems, which I actually didn't read this time around, but I should probably read it. Yeah, they're all kind of simple poems and like haikus and whatever. So yeah, that was Heat 6. I know I probably didn't sound as wholly interested, but I do like it. But I guess in all honesty, it's one that I will go back to, but not over others. Because I don't know. So yeah, Heat 6 was brought to us. It's still good. It's still amazing. You still grab it. Like it's still better than, I guess. It's. I guess you could say it's still better than a lot of other titles in the fandom. But as Heat goes along, there's going to be a lot better Heats than Heat 6. But it's a weird kind of middle ground. Like, so yeah, Heat 6 was brought to us by Alopix was the editor. The chief publisher this time again was Jeff Eddy. Like last time, they said they were going to drop the assistant editors, or was it the one before that? I totally forgot. So the front cover is illustrated by Heather Bruton, based on Reaching's story, and I think it's a lovely cover. Like, I think it's one of my more favourite ones, like especially when I have it lying about. It's definitely one for the longest time that I wanted to pick up and read because I love the cover, but just never did. The first story, Prehistoric, was by Tim, illustrated by Foxfeather R. Zankov. Satan, the poem, by Frostwolf, illustrated by Blotch. At a Glance, written by Richin, illustrated by Heather Bruton. Pantygrams, the ad, was illustrated by Tracy Reynolds. Double Reward, the comic, by Townie DeReal. Talk with Your Mouth Full, by Kyle Gold, illustrated by Chibi Marrow. XY, the lube, was illustrated by Keto. That's it. Fuck. Now I know who it is. Like, oh yeah, of course it is. Sugar Sweet, the comic, by Yuki. Son of the Spouse, written by Fluke, illustrated by Fluke. Learning to Live, written by Kaz, illustrated by Corgi Andriano Bergilios. I need to learn how to pronounce it properly. Kisses, written by Angie K. Dick and Jane, written by Malcolm Foosball Cross, illustrated by Autumn Sunrise. Vigil, which is the lovely poem on the back, which I've totally forgot to talk about, is written by Ekwolf, and the back cover illustration is by Kamui, or Kalmi, however you pronounce his name. I love his work. Heat 2009. Always open for submissions at heat@sofawolf.com. Blah 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 blah. I do like Heat 6. Just I sat on it too long. It's just not as not as fervent about it or whatever. So next up is Heat 7. Where? Oh, here it is. which is the fucking cool one with the otter and the wolf on it. Like I fucking love this cover. And I think I did lie in my last video where I said that I hadn't read anything, and then when I flicked through this the other day, I think I've read pretty much everything in this. It's kind of a rare one I forgot about. Yeah, I've read everything except one short story in this one. But no, Heat 7, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll have it done by next week and it won't take me as long. So yeah, I've been Reyfar and I'll catch you later.